that you, honey?
Your hair turn gray. When opportunity comes knocking, you just keep on with your rockin', 'cause you know your fortune's made. And if the sun makes you perspire, there's a man that you can hire to plant trees so you can have shade on Easy Street. I'm telling everyone I meet, if I could live on Easy Street, I wouldn't want no job today. So please go away.
That was lovely.
Thank you.
You're Peter Gunn, aren't you?
That's right.
I'm sorry, stalking you like this, coming in through the back entrance, but the front door was locked and I couldn't wait until opening time to see you.
Well, I have to get ready.
Well, sit down, won't you?
Thank you.
Well, now, the problem can't be that bad. Signed blank check?
You fill in the amount, Mr. Gunn. I want to hire you.
For what?
To prevent something.
Like?
Murder.
Whose?
Mine.
Well, who'd want to murder you? Miss Wolfe?
Mrs. Edna Wolfe.
Mrs. Wolfe.
Mr. Gunn, my husband has found another woman. I'd known about her for some time. A girl named Nancy. They're planning to kill me.
How do you know this?
She phoned this afternoon. I listened in on the extension.
She called your house?
He was furious about it. He warned her never to call again.
Well, have you contacted the police, Mrs. Wolfe?
I don't want the police brought in. You see it? I still love him very, very much.
I see. Well, did you by any chance overhear how
No.
they plan?
No. Only hints. But I do know that it's going to be soon.
How do you know?
She said to meet him at her apartment tonight. She said, we can't wait any longer, George.
George Wolfe, the attorney?
You know him.
Well, only by reputation. I understand he's a brilliant man, but I'm afraid I wouldn't recognize him on sight, though.
Oh, I have a snapshot with me of him. He's much more attractive than that. You know how snapshots.
Well, this, Nancy...
Nancy, her name is Nancy Fowler.
Fowler. Do you happen to have her address?
Yes, I do. And it's written down there, and that's where you can reach me.
Oh. Nancy Fowler? Mr. Wolfe, I asked you a question.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
This is Miss Fowler's apartment. I've never seen Nancy Fowler in my life.
I think you'd better come inside. Sit down. Operator, give me police headquarters, 13th precinct.
Once more, Mr. Wolfe. Is this your revolver or isn't it?
Once more, Lieutenant, I am not prepared to make a statement at this time.
You're a smart lawyer, Mr. Wolfe. And I think you're smart enough to know that I'm about to book you for murder.
I do not intend to incriminate myself. I've already explained.
Explained? You got a call from a woman you don't even know. You agree to come here in the middle of the night? That's strange office hours for a lawyer.
I suggested that she meet me at my office in the morning. She said the matter was urgent, wouldn't wait.
So you came to a strange woman's apartment. She conveniently left the door open. You walk in and you find her dead. You still want to stay with that?
What I'm telling you is the truth.
Look, Mr. Wolfe. What are you doing?
Oh? Oh, I just thought I'd have a look.
The lab will have a look. All right, I think we better take a trip downtown.
Wait a minute. I think you want to take this.
Never knew Nancy Fowler. If this is your handwriting, this is going to be a very short case.
But it is my handwriting. How miserable she must be.
Not anymore. Come on, let's go.
George in jail. In jail. I just can't believe it.
I'm afraid he's going to be there for some time, Mrs. Wolfe.
I don't understand it. I mean, they planned to kill me. Why should he want to...
Kill her? Well, she could have changed her mind about the whole thing. He could have panicked, figured that she might expose him. Could be a lot of things.
He's still in love with me. That's it. That's why he killed her. That's the reason.
Mrs. Wolfe, there are still quite a few things I don't understand.
Like what?
Well, for some reason, he's not trying very hard to defend himself. Now, he denies that he killed Nancy Fowler or that he ever knew her. And yet he admits that the handwriting on a gift card we found attached to a necklace in her apartment is his.
Well, what do you suppose that means?
Well, I'm going to check with the jeweler, see what I can find out. Then I'm going to headquarters and see Lieutenant Jacoby. If we come up with anything, I'll be in touch. Good night, Mrs. Wolfe.
Thank you, Mr. Gunn.
You don't want to go in there, man. That's police headquarters. Get in. Oh. Get in, drive. Gun. Left hand, you know how. Thanks.
Who sent you?
He wouldn't want his name mentioned.
Where are we going?
The river.
Get a little damp down the river this time of night.
You won't feel a thing.
Name's Gus Winkler. You ever see him before?
Not until he picked me up.
Worked for Eddie Young.
There's a dandy employer.
Dandy employee.
He just retired. How you doing with George Wolfe?
He better get himself a good lawyer.
Oh, you don't think he'll be able to handle his own case?
If he's smart, he won't take it. The murder gun is his fingerprints on it. He bought the necklace, his handwriting on the gift card.
I'd like to have a talk with that jeweler. What are you doing for a motive?
It'll show up. We got something on Nancy Fowler who might add a little color.
Yeah, what color?
She worked at the Gilded Cage nightclub.
Isn't that the club Eddie Young owns?
She and Eddie were quite an item.
And he sends a hood after me. I wonder how it all ties up.
Relax. We'll find out.
Yeah, well, while you're relaxing, I think I'll find out.
Pete, don't shake up Eddie Young.
Why not?
You might get yourself killed.
That I'll try to avoid.
You've got the wrong door.
I don't think so. I want to see the manager.
I'm the assistant manager.
You, I didn't want to see.
Get lost, will you?
You didn't knock.
I didn't have to. Your, man let me in.
Feel free. Oh, you'll have to forgive the looks of the place. It's falling apart.
I don't appreciate your sending muscle to kill me, Young.
You must have the wrong office. I think you're looking for the complaint department. Max.
He's resting.
Take it easy. Relax. Have a drink. You know, you're very nervous.
You reach in that drawer, Eddie, you make me a lot more nervous.
Now, what do you want?
Why did you send them?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, let me put it this way. Why did you kill Nancy Fowler?
You got some strange ideas.
And you've got a bad habit of not answering questions.
That's how I stay in business.
You're about to go out of business.
Don't bet on it. Buddy, I think you'll have to take Mr. Gunn for a walk. A long one.
Well, no, I don't think Lieutenant Jacoby would appreciate that. You see, he knew I was coming here.
That brings us to more or less of an impasse, doesn't it?
More or less.
Get out of here.
Thanks for your hospitality, Eddie. Hello, give me the 13th precinct. Lieutenant Jacoby.
Your number, sir?
JL17211.
Jacoby,
Hello, Lieutenant.
I got more important things to do
Then what?
than answer your phone calls.
I think I've got something for you.
What?
A killer.
I'm waiting.
So am I. Meet me at Eddie Young's apartment in a half an hour.
You're sick.
Look, I've got to do it my way. I haven't got enough to go on to do it any other way. Eddie Young's, half an hour.
Half an hour?
And don't be late. We'll go up together, Eddie. Over there. The phone.
What are you trying to prove?
Murder. Dial this number. Now say this and just this. They found out. We're in big trouble. Get over here fast and hang up.
Look, Gunn.
Dial.
They found out. We're in big trouble. Get over here fast. Look,
Eddie, what happened? How do they know?
They know, that's all.
How? How did they find out? Tell me, how?
Edna,
Eddie, what is the matter with you? What have you done? You've made some stupid mistake, haven't you? Haven't you?
You made the mistake, Mrs. Wolfe. A lot of them. That story you gave me about your husband wanting to murder you because of Nancy, it was just the other way around, wasn't it? You wanted to frame your husband so he could wind up with Eddie here. Well, it's not a bad notion. Having Eddie kill Nancy, and then you frame your husband. You both walk off with his money.
No, that's not true.
you're winging it. There's no way in the world you could prove that.
Oh, you're right. I'd have a lot of trouble proving it, since her husband's still holding out for her.
What?
Oh, he knew you framed him. He also knew that you gave Eddie the gun and the bracelet to plant in the murder apartment. Yet he's still trying to protect you.
George, you just must help me, George. You know what he's been saying? He was accusing me of wanting to hurt you. Now you know I wouldn't do that, George. You know that, don't you, dear? You know that. You believe me, don't you? You've always been so good. So generous. So kind. So old. You're so old I can't stand the sight of you! Eddie, please.
A smart guy like that be so stupid.
Stupid. He's still in love with her.